loves, welcome back to another episode of The Cage Bird Sings. I am your girl, Sherika Shea, and we got my king, Ollie, on the other line. Say what's up, Ollie. Say what's up.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Yes, yes. So, without any further ado, let's get into it, loved ones. All right. So, today we're going to talk about turning pain into purpose. And so, I want to pose a question to you. How do you see fit, or how do you see yourself turning the pain that you've been through, being gone away, even the things that you've been through? How have you used that to push you, to propel you forward?
Pain is a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think that I was blind to pain.
Mm.
I couldn't see it in that sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that pain exists within you, your physical being, going through the things that you go through in different forms, there's gradual pain. And I think for me, I done been through every stage of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Turning that pain into purpose. If you would have asked me this maybe 2 or 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't be able to equip myself to be able to even give you a feasible answer. But I sit here today and I can honestly tell you that all the pain that I've been through, it has allowed me to be the man that I am to this point. And obviously I'm still pushing and I'm still growing within that pain.
Yes.
But I understand the purpose of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because pain is not necessarily a bad thing. It's something you can use to fuel you,
Yes.
to propel you to change your life. As you said, turn it into purpose. I'll start off by saying growing up, for me, physically and physically, that probably was my most pain.
Elaborate a
When
little
you
bit more
take
on
a
that.
young man,
Go ahead.
what I mean by that is growing up, how I grew up, there was a lot of pain that I had to endure
Mm-hmm.
with my mother and my father.
Mm-hmm.
These two people was very important to me.
Yes.
And being the fact that I didn't necessarily have them how I was supposed to have them in my life,
Mm-hmm.
even when they was physically there, I was in pain.
Mm. That's deep.
I don't know if anybody can relate in this sense. Seeing your mother physically abused
Mm.
and emotionally abused, it scars a young man.
Yes.
So seeing that being perpetuated upon my mother, it had me emotionally in pain.
Mm.
Because I'm a kid, I can't do nothing about that.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
So I used to sit and I'll cry
Mm.
to the point where, I'll just go to sleep. Not knowing what to do with that, it made me feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you this too. So, even as a child, witnessing it and knowing that you really couldn't do anything about it, but you knew that it was wrong, right?
Yeah, you knew, obviously you knew, because for me, this was my mother.
Mm-hmm.
So, only thing I want to do is, in that moment, not really knowing it, I want to protect my mother.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm physically incapable to protect my mother.
Right.
So understanding that, yeah, that was wrong, and, not knowing the nature, and sometimes not even knowing that my mother used to subject herself to those things
Mm-hmm.
based on the people that she hung around.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say it can emotionally scar you, but what it did is it made me angry.
Mm-hmm.
It fueled me with anger, and I used the pain in the bad way. So now I'm at this point where I'm curious and I'm wondering to myself, is this what life projects for me?
Mm-hmm.
These nights and days and goes by, and I'm wondering to myself, like, my father, he's there, but he's also perpetuating these things as well.
Right.
So I'll try to intervene, and he'll throw me to the side and tell me to sit my ass down.
Mm-hmm.
So, this starting right there, and as I grew, now I'm acting out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm using the pain for all the wrong things.
Right.
And eventually you start to see that the way that you're living, that scars you, that has pain, because I'm living a certain way that's not conducive to me being able to benefit from it. Gunshots, violence, fighting. These things that I'm living in, it's all bad.
Mm-hmm.
I can't understand this the way I'm supposed to because I'm a kid.
Right.
So now I'm just trapped and living in that pain.
Mm.
And don't know what to do.
Right.
But act out. So fast forward a little bit, I played sports, and I used sports, and I was good at sports, and I used to use the pain in the sports, but then I became too aggressive to the point where it's no longer about the sport. It's about me using the pain. But I'm using it, I'm projecting it in the wrong way.
Mm.
So now my grades is not right, and I can't play sports anymore because my grades is not right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for the outlet. So I end up trying to find, as we normally do, we go try to find the wrong things in the wrong places and think it's the right thing. And it ends up becoming worse. And now that pain becomes more. You ever just scream to the top of your lungs?
I have. Yes, I have.
And just in that moment, you're screaming to the top of your lungs. That's what I was doing every day, just begging for somebody to rescue me.
Mm.
So I'm living in this pain to the point where I'm screaming to the top of my lungs, please, somebody come rescue me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say it because I got to portray this role. And it's pain in that.
Yeah.
Because this role that I'm portraying is supposed to be tough. I'm trying to live something that I'm not.
Mm.
It's pain in that. If you see where I'm going, you're going to understand that everything you do, it has pain in it.
Mm.
But the ultimate goal for us and the point of this topic is finding the purpose.
Yes.
And turning it into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, it took me a long, long time to be able to even lift this pain and look at it like I'm supposed to. So now I'm starting to propel myself and surging in this gang activity to the point where I'm starting to go to jail, juvenile hall.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pain in that because the people that I love is hurting them.
Mm-hmm.
See, it wasn't hurting me because I thought I was getting stripes or I was getting a reputation because at the end of the day I was being acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was finally being acknowledged and it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
But see, what I don't know further down the line is going to be pain in that. So now as I'm becoming acknowledged and I'm surging in this gang culture, it's starting to make me feel good. See how that works? It makes me feel good because all the things I've been through that point, it was pain in it.
Mm-hmm.
But now guess what I'm doing? I'm starting to inflict the pain on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that works?
Yes, sir.
So I'm leaving this thing that we like to call the ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because see what you do, it not only affects you, it affects everything and everybody
That's
in
right.
some type of way.
Yes.
So I'm inflicting pain not only on myself, but on my community
Mm-hmm.
and everything in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as we push a little bit further, it's going to take a minute, but I'm going to get to this point because I want you to really understand what I'm saying, Shay, because the people have to understand that pain is something that's tangible
Mm-hmm.
and it's visible.
Mm-hmm.
You can see pain on somebody's face.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear it in their voice.
Yes.
So now, as I keep going and I'm surging in this gang culture and I'm becoming more and more violent, it's starting to make me feel like I'm somebody.
Mm-hmm.
In this twisted, in this messed up way, seeing the same thing and I'm opposing and afflicting it, which as a kid that I've seen, it damaged me, but now I'm doing the damage. They say hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the truest statements that I ever heard because it's the absolute truth.
Yes.
So now I sit here humbly, right, going through all those things, and I don't want to be too long-winded on it. But now I'm starting to get it.
Hmm.
Now this pain that I had, that I inflicted as well as imposed on myself, I'm starting to understand what I can truly use it for.
Mm-hmm.
Giving back.
Yes.
Allowing people to see me for who I truly am. So sitting here saying all that, with that being said, now I'm at the point where I understand how to use this pain
Mm-hmm.
and allow this pain to turn into what we call hurt.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know how to navigate that, just being honest. Pain is deeply rooted in me. I don't run from it. I don't hide from it because for a long time, this pain fueled me in every way but the right way.
Hmm.
I remember being about 9 years old, living with my uncle, and I remember my mother came over there and she told me that she was going to take me home. I remember being so happy that, I damn near used the bathroom on myself, being so excited that I was going to leave with my mother. And I remember she told me, and my Auntie Terry said, go get your stuff, go get ready. And I remember little Sid and Sam, this was like my brother and sisters. I was real close to them. They was like my brothers and sisters. Growing up with you as well. Say, we was close. We real close. And I remember little Sid saying, "You happy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm happy." And being that I was so happy, I'm sitting, I'm waiting, and I remember just waiting by the door. And Auntie Terry was like, "Why?" She's like, "Why are you by the door? Your mama, she gonna come get you. Just sit down." And I remember just waiting by this door, and she never came. When I tell you that, that's something that's still painful for me today. But I understand that now. See, I can't fault nobody or blame nobody. I just have to understand that at that moment, that was just a young man crying out for his mother.
Yeah.
So now I'm sitting here and I'm using that. Because that was deep.
Yes, sir.
It still bothers me to this day.
I can tell. I feel it.
The message is that as we turn this pain into purpose, excuse me.
Do you need a minute?
That we realize that, yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
We realize that these things, they affect everybody.
Yes.
And we all have purpose. But sometimes we allow the pain to the side to the point where we miss our purpose. And what I'm saying today is, use that to be great.
Yes.
Because there's nothing in the world that none of us can't do if we truly allow ourselves to use everything in our being to fuel us. Negativity breeds us sometimes to the point where we start to believe that we're negative. But the reality is, I'm here to tell you today that you're not negative. You have purpose. You have divine presence.
Yes.
God has anointed all of us to be great.
Yes.
But you have to see that and use that pain to allow you to see the truth. See, my mother, she had what you call an addiction. And at the end of the day, the addiction beat my mother. My mother was a beautiful lady.
Yes.
She was powerful. People see my mother and they enjoyed being around my mother because she had a certain presence. But see, the addiction used to overpower that. So she was living in that pain for all those years.
Yeah. But
at the same time, when we sit and we have these conversations, they become emotional, Shay.
It's okay.
They become real personal. So sitting right here, understanding my true purpose, we're allowed to be able to speak to people and share our story.
Yes.
What's more powerful than that in connecting with somebody because we're all the same in some form?
Yes.
So we have to identify those things by allowing us to have this platform. And I told you this before. I greatly appreciate you allowing me to be on this show.
Yes, sir.
Because this empowers me.
Oh, yes.
I understand that people are going to try to criticize. And they're going to try to deem you as something that you ain't.
Right.
Because that's what the world does.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you don't have to live in that. You don't have to live in that pain and that misery no more.
No.
Because that's not you. God intended us to be vessels.
Mm.
He put us on earth to transcend the world, not to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm understanding that now. And this show, it becomes therapy for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
It allows me to see things differently. No matter the topic or no matter the subject, it helps me tap in and it draws out little Ollie.
Yes, sir.
Because see, little Ollie ain't never been exposed to the world. Because he's been living in that pain.
Mm.
So now today, little Ollie can come out and say, I feel protected.
Mm-hmm.
I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel the true nature of who I'm supposed to be.
Yes, sir.
And that's being able to say as a man, it's okay to cry, it's okay to show your emotions. Because it's strength in that.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you're weak.
Mm-mm.
What it says to you that you're powerful in a way that nobody can never contest. So take everything that you've been through and understand you've been through for a reason.
Mm.
They say God don't put nothing on nobody that they can't handle.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So we're at a pivotal point in our life. Turning that into true purpose is obviously I'm still navigating that, but I am at stepping points in my life where I see the progression.
Mm-hmm.
I see the growth. I'm no longer angry like I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I no longer act irrational.
Mm.
I no longer try to justify, and that was one of the biggest things for me. I used to try to justify and make excuses for everything I did and use how I grew up. Although those things plagued me, but at the end of the day, I'm able to make the conscious decision today. When I say conscious, I'm aware of what I'm choosing, not blinded by the pain or fueled by the pain. I'm using that to make the accurate choice instead of the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I want to let you speak, Shay, because I know that you have something profound to say. But I want to ask you this, and this is kind of personal. And I really don't want to do this, but this allows me, because me and you are close.
Yes.
I remember when I came home, and I remember hugging you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that, Shay?
I remember.
I remember when I hugged you, I wanted to tell you something, but physically I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was ashamed. I was in fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like I was getting out to something that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, this is all I knew.
Right.
I never shared that in this type of form, but I think it's important for us to understand that it's okay to ask for help too.
Yes.
And I know if I'd have reached out to you in that way, you would have helped.
Mm-hmm. To the best of my
What do you
ability.
think about that, Shay, when I just expressed that to you?
In regards to that day?
That day.
You know, I totally knew that it was something new for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, probably, maybe I should have said, take your time. See, because a lot of times we think that we're behind. We think that, oh, I need to hurry up and have this because I never either had it or whatever the case may be.
Uh-huh.
But I knew because this life, California life, I used to live in Texas. I lived in
Uh-huh.
Texas for like 9 years. When I turned 21, I moved to Texas. I came back home after 9 years. I was 30. And when I tell you, the lifestyle between Texas and California is totally different. But that was just to give you a synopsis of the speed in which life is
Uh-huh.
moving, which you think and perceive it is, right? I wanted to
Uh-huh.
be able to tell you to take your time because it's new territory, it's new ground,
Yeah.
new everything all around you, and you're okay.
Yeah.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank
You're welcome. Okay, and so just to talk to the people about turning pain into purpose, just like you said. Um, and I wanted to let me backtrack real quick, Ali. So
you.
you
Uh-huh.
saying
Go ahead.
that the show is being a form of therapy, and I just wanted
Uh-huh.
to confirm that for you because I think it's all a part of the process. We have certain
Uh-huh.
people that are in our lives that come into our lives at a certain time to help open up and allow us to see those things, to see a broader perspective, to heal certain things, to allow yourself to really know and understand how God is here with you, how divine you are, how loved you are, how protected you are, how wise you are, how strong you are, how much courage you have, the humanitarianism that is within your soul, that surrounds you, right? The divinity that is all around you, underneath your feet, on the top of your head. It's all around you. And a lot of us are not aware. A lot of us are not aware. And so I just wanted to, backtrack to that and just go ahead and give you some extra validation for that because I can tell, this podcast, this show has been great development. And not only for you, but it has been for myself. It has given me the ability to fully show up unapologetically, to show up better and stronger, right? Because we have a duty, you know. The things that we've been through are for naught. And we have to show our people, those that resonate to the podcast, resonate to the show, resonate to us, resonate to our spirit, resonate in our lives, those that gravitate, those that come to help, those that come to nurture us, right? It's all a part of the puzzle. It's all a part of God's plan. And we're just playing our role. And I am thankful.
Yes, ma'am.
I am thankful for the opportunity to be doing this with you. I
Yes,
really
ma'am.
am. And so, speaking to turning your pain into purpose, because that pain is so great. The power and the energy behind that pain, turning that into purpose, has the same magnitude, has the same effect. So that's why it's so important. I'm not going to get any deeper than that, but I want you to picture that. Listeners, Ali, all that pain, that heaviness, how big it is, how widespread it is. That purpose has the same effect. And that's why We have to fight to turn that pain into purpose. Show up in the world. Allow yourself to take up space. Allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself to love. Allow yourself to understand, acknowledge, give yourself grace. I always talk about give yourself grace. You're taking off layers and layers of condition, pain, trauma, uncertainty. You have to grant yourself grace to allow yourself to become anew, to build new beliefs about who you are, whose you are, the power that you have, all those things. And so, with that being said, that's all I have to say, cousin, about that.
That's beautiful.
Did you want to say anything else?
I think you summed it up and you said it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, everybody's going to go through those painful moments.
Yes.
You know, to drive home what you said even further, allow that purpose just to be as great as that.
Yes.
You couldn't say it no better, son. You couldn't.
Because it's the truth. That's the transcendence of it.
So,
that's the transmutation of it. Yes.
So, that's the. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay. All right, loves. I know this was a powerful one right here. This was deep and it was very heartfelt. I felt it. I felt it from my spirit. I felt it from your spirit. I felt you releasing. I felt all of that, cousin. I felt it. So, on that note, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of The Caged Bird Sings. Let's go ahead and close it out with our affirmations. I am a queen.
I am the king.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. I am divine.
I am divine.
And my ancestors are proud of me.
And my ancestors are proud of me.
Until next time, family. Take care.
Peace.